Evaluation question 2. How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary texts? In our trailer, we used 2 fonts. One being American Typewriter, that was used on the TV scene. We chose this font as it gave the message a more cold and clinical feel, as if it were like a ransom note, and helped to emphasize the idea of the neighbors being cold and heartless. And for the end titles, we chose a font called I Still Know. This font is very fitting in the horror genre. It has a thin look about it, yet it's still bold and readable.
It's much more like blocky and easy to read, which is important for a trailer as you have limited time to read the title before it moves on to the next screen. On the poster, the viewer has as long as they want to read the title, and a less clear font could draw them in more, so it's not as important to have a clear font. Also, it's common that the film title in the trailer is very traditional looking, for example, The Conjuring 2. Horror film posters often have a more quirky and hand-done font, such as the posters for the films Insomnia and The Flesh Eater.
So a common convention of like marketing packages of the poster, the trailer, and the magazine cover is that they're normally all presented together to try and sell the final film. So they usually have a lot of things to try and keep the film identity consistent, like the fonts or imagery and whatnot. The only font that is used in both the trailer and my poster is American Typewriter. This font is used for the actor names and the tagline. There's a slight narrative reason for this. I kind of view the TV font as a supporting font because it is used to help sell the film and the narrative. You could say supporting the main title. So on the poster, the actor's name and the tagline, the supporting part to the poster, are in the same font. For the title font, there is a dichotomy between the poster and the trailer. In the trailer, we used a more classical horror font inspired by things like The Conjuring, The Village, or The Cabin in the Woods. For the poster, it would have been preferable to use this same font, but it just didn't work. It did not fit nicely into the aesthetic of the poster. It looked very forced.
Yeah, my trailer also has a different to my ancillary tasks. For the poster, I chose a different font for the title of the film than what was used in the trailer. The font I used in the poster is called October Crow, which was quite a spiky font, and it's made up of light lines and has quite a scribbly style. The font started off like really skinny, and all the letters were scrunched up together, but I spread them out a bit to make them easier to read and to fill up the space of the poster better. I chose this font because it looks quite vein-like, and I wanted the veins on the poster to run into the font, giving a creepy effect and creates a good composition on the page, as it makes the eye run down the poster, making it end on the film title, and it also ties it all in together. Also, I much prefer the effect of text being at the bottom compared to at the top, because the eye naturally starts at the top of the poster and scans down. So if it's at the bottom, then the eye ends there and lingers more on it and has a better effect.
We both had like similar views on the font October Crow, so we both used it. I thought it does have like a strong horror film vibe. Kind of reminded me of like the Night of the Living Dead. But it's still like a bit alternative to normal font style of horror films. Which also links to like my alternative style of poster. The font's spindly and like unnerving to look at, but it works well on the poster because it's long and looks fragmented. Of course, it's not like ideal to be using 2 separate fonts in the trailer and the poster, but like visuals and aesthetic shouldn't be sacrificed just for the sake of having like consistency between the trailer and the poster. Like if they work individually, then they should be kept that way. Each piece can stand for itself, and to use the trailer font for the poster doesn't work. To use poster font for the trailer would make it too unreadable and fleeting amongst the branches. But some sort of coherence is still present, as both the fonts are white and visually recognisable as horror.
Yeah, I agree, because although the font being different to the one used in the trailer does affect how coherent the poster and trailer is, I use my artistic judgment to decide what will make a more effective poster. Also, the fonts definitely aren't complete opposites. They both have an imperfect, scratchy look, so they do have some coherence.
For the magazine, there is no coherence to the poster and the trailer, like in a font sense. That's because the magazine is not directly linked to the marketing of the film, like in the same way that the trailer and the poster is, but is instead like a magazine presentation of the film. The magazine is its own company, like first and foremost, which is then doing their own feature of the film. Like their main audience will still be for their own members, not for like fans of the film. For example, Little White Lies will have like so many different front covers and designs and stuff, but you'll never see like the bubble with their logo change because they're always staying true to their style. So for my magazine, I went for a 1930s aesthetic and picked an according font to be used throughout, which again doesn't tie directly to the film, but Empire, Little White Lies, Sight and Sound always keep their titles the same through covers. It's just the design and covers that change.
Yeah, again, the magazine is slightly separate from the poster and trailer, as it is much less marketing based, and so it doesn't have to link with the poster and trailer so much. For my magazine cover, I went with a completely different style to the poster and trailer. I looked at the Sight and Sound magazines for my main inspiration. They often had like a quirkier look and featured directors of the film, or would be of an actor or something, something that I'll comment that in. I like the distinctive and relaxed style and how the magazine cover is made to give an insight of the personality of the people featured on it. For example, on a cover with Quentin Tarantino, he like screws up his face, points to the camera. There's a skull behind him with blood splatter below him. He wears a leather jacket and the colour scheme is black and red. This goes with his violent style of films, and the hand gesturing face make him seem like cool and confident. In the issue with Richard Ayoade, on the front, he stands awkwardly in like a comical way, and there's a bright light on him, giving a look of him being in the spotlight, adding to the awkward of the pose. His awkward character is what he portrays on the media, so the magazine cover is in line with that. So the reason I went for such a different look to our trailers is because I wanted the magazine cover to be about Yan and I as the directors. As we aren't scary people, a magazine wouldn't have to look that way. I wanted it to show a quirky, fun side. The pose, background and text all plays into that. The pose of us shows a dynamic between us and how we help each other out and work as a team. The pose goes with the quirky background, as it has like a quirky Tea Party aesthetic. The different style of the magazine and trailer allows for like a wider audience as it expands the style and potential viewers.
The magazine is quite like off to the side, like not directly connected to how the trailer and poster link together. For mine, I kind of thought of it more like I went for more of like a Little White Lies style magazine, so more sort of like esoteric audience. They're trying to go for a specific group of people with interests, but also the kind that like you could pick up for one issue and just read, and they're putting their own style on to the film, but they're not doing the film, they're doing the directors. So they're taking a different approach to marketing a film through the directors instead of, say, like Empire, which would just do it about the film. This can like expand the audience out more, than just like a poster and trailer can, because they're directly linked to horror. Like many different readers might be more, like have a wider range of interests, so might be turned off by a horror specific front cover or theme. And having one about directors is far more like readable when you don't know much. I used a more graphical cover, using like a contact sheet style design, used to highlight us as young and playful in the film world. Like we're just joking about, having fun, as a kind of like, as a representation of us and like how we make films. I was inspired by like contact sheets of like celebrities, how they have like stuff drawn on the top, and used that on the front. And also used it to help go with just the overall aesthetic of the magazine, how it's more like graphically constructed, like say Little White Lies or something, and not just film pictures or like Empire.
I was very inspired by like the text and font of this Sight and Sound magazine. They create like an interesting dynamic to the magazine, and the font is a good way to fill up space and adds excitement and tells the reader what's inside.